And literally I'm just like,
shelter for me.
you're too bad, man. You're too bad, man. You're too bad, man.
And a tower from the enemy.
You're too bad, man. You're too bad, man. You're too bad, man.
Kiss the cross and touch the sky. All bad mind things must stop. We are born of bad mind.
We are born of bad mind. You're too bad. What's the plural of mouse?
Mice.
If you have more than one house, you have?
Heist.
Shouldn't it be? And if you spill a bunch of rice grains, shouldn't you pick them? If you pick up one, you pick up a?
Rouse.
Correct. He's such a smart guy. That's how it should be. Just for continuity. I like things that are consistent.
Except that that's not how the language evolves. And so the evolution of the language, the words have come from all over.
Dennis, I don't need to justify the foolishness. It's foolishness.
So it's just a case of the English language thief things from all the places where the English went.
The irony. Yeah,
you know, just
exactly.
very much like other aspects of the culture.
Exactly. Oh, do me a favor, please. Can you pass me the stand right there?
Sure, okay.
I actually feel a little Milo-esque.
You feel for a couple of Milo.
Would you like a cup as well?
Oh, I could do one. Yeah, all right, I'll do one.
Why that went so high pitch like you don't really want it? But you don't want to flap me?
No, I'm a coffee person, but no, I do a little coffee substitute. That's so true. Aretha Franklin said that. Sometimes what you're looking for is already there. It's just that you're not looking in the right place.
That's true.
You know, and so sometimes, you know, you have to...
Hey, what's up, big ear?
We know what product has not been the source of the bandit. T to the K. Good morning,
Hey,
TK.
Dennis, excited about the Monday morning, man.
You gotta be.
Monday, TK.
You gotta be.
I don't know anybody who enjoys Mondays more than Dennis Wilkes here.
Yeah.
Let's go to the headlines then, shall we? Let's do that. Some not so good news to start off the Monday morning. Old Harbour shootings happening. The Jamaica Constabulary Force reported that 2 men were fatally shot during a confrontation with the police on Terminal Road, Old Harbour, St. Catherine. So there seems to be some discrepancies in the accounts of what happened in terms of what the residents are saying happening versus what the police are saying happened. So that henceforth the protest.
So the residents are saying that it was... That
unjustified?
It was an unjust shooting. Right. Moving to the next headline, water hopes for Marymount. So in a response to last Friday's March 22nd being celebrated as World Water Day, did you guys know that? It was World Water Day.
Yes.
Look at you,
yes,
on top of it. Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Matthew Samuda, journeyed to Marymount High School in St. Mary, where he addressed students from various institutions about the importance of water and its conservation. And while reminding citizens to conserve water, he says the island of wood and water is not limited regarding supply, but instead falls short in its capacity to gather the necessity.
Nice, nice. Well, water is life. For the record, Matthew Samuda is a minister in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. He's not the minister.
Right,
but yeah, he has responsibility for like water and environment stuff.
And you know what? He is genuinely passionate about that.
Yeah.
It's not just because he's been placed in that area. It's something he truly is passionate about. So I think he will do a lot of work in that area.
Yeah.
And I read a report that he put out the other day. And it made me realize that we have a lot of wastage is a big part of our issue. So with leaks, with even the level of silt in our catchment facilities, we have the issue there. But obviously we still have a lot to do in terms of getting water into very specific areas because terrain does pose a problem for many of them. But I'm very excited to see what will happen within that ministry under his guidance because it's something he genuinely is passionate about.
Number one, you want to get financially literate. You're at a stage and an age right now where knowledge is important when it comes to your money. So you will learn several things in school, in university, on the job. You will learn several things. But sometimes what you do not get from your regular schooling, regular university, is how to manage your money, which is why it is your responsibility to ensure, guess what, I'm going to be reading, I'm going to be looking at information somewhere else. Follow persons who can give you good quality financial information so you can make better decisions. You want to get literate when it comes to your financials, all right, and your finances. Number 2, how can you boost your income? So for many young persons this age, maybe you're in university, maybe you have a part-time job, maybe you have a full-time job, but you want to look on how it is that I'm going to be able to get some extra money coming in. You do not want to just depend on your parents' lunch money if you're going to school full-time, or if you have a little one income, you don't want to depend on that only. So you want to start working and hustling right now. Remember, I was maybe about 21 years old, 20 years old, when I was already employed, but I'm looking, how can I start to find something else to bring some extra money? I discovered that, hey, I really love to sell. It was at that age, I'm working in the financial field, I'm going to work, and there's a Carlton, I like your socks, I like your this. And guess what? My first sales business started. I'm selling socks at work, I'm selling tie at work, I'm selling tie pin at work. Guess what? You have to try several different things to boost the income because you're at an age where the income is not the most in your early 20s. All right? Number 3, start saving intentionally. Students, do you have a savings account?
Yes.
You're both saving. You have a credit union account, a bank account? You have things like that. Because I know we have persons in their early 20s who do not have a savings account. In this day and age, why don't you have a savings account? Because you should be saving and not just saving, but saving intentionally because you want to increase that saving.
Jamaican women have been making their mark in all facets of life on the island, including politics. Most noted among them, Portia Simpson Miller, who became Jamaica's first female Prime Minister in March 2006. A month before, Mrs. Simpson Miller became the first female president of the People's National Party. In 2007, she lost the general election, becoming the first female leader of the opposition. By 2011, Mrs. Simpson Miller again made history, becoming the first female to be elected head of government twice. And in 2016, Mrs. Simpson Miller made history once more, becoming the first female leader of the opposition to hold that title twice. A long-serving parliamentarian, Mrs. Simpson Miller was first elected to represent Southwest St. Andrew in Parliament in 1976.
So I have a small location in Devon House, shop number 23. It's right as you enter the property, and we have been there a little bit over 2 years now, and it's going well. So people are welcome to come and try Russian crepes.
For those who don't know, what is a crepe?
Crepe is something similar to maybe something in between pancake and a roti, and it can be sweet or savory. So for sweet options, you can have it with like salted caramel, biscuit cookies, strawberry, marshmallows, chocolate, caramelized plantain. And for a savory option, you can have it with like smoked marlin, cream cheese, tuna,
right
turkey, turkey ham, chicken, ackee. We have really big variety of things. The grains is actually a living organism.
Oh, wow.
It's a combination of lactic healthy bacteria, and by placing it in the milk, right, what happens is after the fermentation time, bacteria and kefir spreads and take out the lactose because bacteria fed on lactose and produces carbon dioxide and minerals and magnesium and so on. So kefir would be suitable for people with lactose intolerance.
What does it taste
milk.
like?
It tastes like a sourish yogurt.
Like yogurt.
Yes, but what it does to you, it boosts the immune system. It can restore your gut microbiome. Please.
And what a lot of people don't realize is that gut health really helps overall health.
It's
a healthy gut.
It tastes like yogurt.
Yeah? Like Greek yogurt, plain yogurt.
Tastes like plain yogurt.
And it's fully natural, no preservatives, no artificial flavors, nothing. Shelf life is a little bit over 3 weeks.
Okay.
So, but I my aim is to keep it natural because there's so many unhealthy foods on the market that something should fight it.
Yes. So you're so right.
Yeah.
I won a Champs, Champs just concluded, and I received a random email one day about like a scholarship to go to school in the States. And for me, that was a lifetime opportunity, seeing that where my background and my family, financial and socio-economical struggles. And so for me, getting that scholarship and that email from the coach to attend Alabama State on a full ride was definitely a dream, and it was an opportunity that I couldn't pass up.
You're clearly a bright youth, which is always a good thing, and not just talented athletically. Tell us about how important it was for you to focus on the books and to, put in the work to do justice to your academic talent.
Yeah, I think academically at Wilmers, they really stress balancing it. And so for me, that was very important. I knew that I didn't want to become a pro athlete. So for me, I kind of had to prioritize like ensuring that I'm like succeeding academically. Post graduation, I could secure opportunities within the States after graduating.
I find that so brilliant. So many people have this dream of going pro, and therefore what they do outside of track is almost after the dream has failed. But you were very clear in your mind, this is a means to an end,
right? And
I'm going to do these other things. I find that. What made you have that clarity of mind?
I mean, I thought for me, it was just that not that I didn't believe in myself, because I knew if I put in the work, and that's just my mindset, if I put in the work, that I would be able to achieve anything. But for me, I just never had the urge to track is hard. And so I had the athletes who go there and they train at 6 o'clock in the morning and then they have a weight room. And so for me, it was just ensuring that, I chose the easier path for me, because track is hard.
Well, we are really in a catastrophic situation in Haiti. The security has been going down since quite a long time. Most of these developments started in 2018, which is now 6 years ago. But it has gone totally out of hands. The authorities, you might say, have collapsed. There are still state institutions where people go to their job and try to do some work, but the overall coordination is not there. Also, hunger is increasing. If there is an integrated food security index with 5 levels, and although level 5 has not been reached, about half the population is in level 3 and 4, which is emergency and urgency, and very much food insecurity. So it is a physical insecurity because of the gangs, and a food insecurity also. Oh, and the last thing I want to mention is that cholera has come back. It was introduced by the UN by accident in 2010, coming from Nepal, and it was kind of conquered about after 3 years, 4 years, but now it is coming back, and because people don't have access to water and to hygiene. And that's another thing that is going to be important, an important factor, an important barrier for looking for further solutions. We should step up because they are neighbors, and they're very much Caribbean people. They helped also Jamaica to abandon its slavery significantly. The British would not have gone so easily out of that mode, you might say. Haiti is a country that fought itself free, the only country that actually took control of itself, and have been punished since by the countries in the north especially, but also I would say by the countries in the Caribbean. So there was a lot of interest to not make this country succeed. And that has gone over for many years. But now we're just talking about people. Indeed, there are lots of children, lots of people in great trouble. And I think that it is only normal to assist with what.
Struggling with mental health issues can be difficult. Don't suffer in silence. Speak up now. Do your share. The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is 6:45 p.m.
So during the COVID time, it was a time where it was very, very, very sensitive. And quite a few of our persons, our Jamaicans overall, were a bit scared. People were, this was something new. They didn't want to leave their homes. They were a bit unsure. It's a period of uncertainty. And at the time, what we were doing mostly mobile testing, just COVID testing at the time.
Ah, yeah, I remember
However,
those days.
right, but then the gap existed when people were like, okay, so if I'm positive, what next? But the thing is, they don't want to leave their homes to go to a lead in the space to get help.
Yeah.
So we decided, okay, if you're positive, I can assist. Right? So as a doctor at that time, I reached out, helping people who were positive, going to their homes, assisting, you know, helping them, just giving them guidance overall. So it started from that point. But now we realize that there are other persons as well who need this access, not just those who are COVID positive, but our family members who probably have autistic children. They don't want to take them out of the home to carry them to a fixed space. It's so difficult to manage them. Right, because exactly. And then there were those who had like chronic illnesses, your pressure, your sugar, your cholesterol, you name it, especially amongst our black population. You know, they needed some extra assistance at home. And research shows it. Home visits really help in terms of better compliance, better results, better care. So we offer, of course, comfy home doctor visits. That is our main service, but it's not just that. We're probably the most comprehensive, I tell you. So we bring nurses, we bring physiotherapists, dietitians, health coaches, you name it. What we want to do is we want to make sure that while you're at home, we can bring everything necessary to you there, right?
So I'll give you an example. I got an injury. I'm going to need physiotherapy sessions to get me back to where I need to be. I don't have to go to a facility to get those. You'll take me. You'll come on my veranda and.
Well, I don't know if it's a veranda, but for sure. Yeah.
I hail from a small town that's close to Old Harbour, if you're familiar with Old Harbour, fishing village and all of that. I went to the Old Harbour High.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
First choice was Glenmuir, but we had to move, so I had to go to another high school. But it's not where you go; it's what you do when you get there. So
Old Harbour is a decent school.
Trust me, upgrading, and we have excelled. Trust me, yes. So from Old Harbour High, I went to UWI and I studied psychology and sociology.
Nice.
And then after that, I did my master's in HR, Human Resource Development. I also did postgrad at VTDI, yes. And then I was teaching for about 8.5 years. Then I wanted to do higher education. You know, we never stop, right? And that's how I ended up in Japan, because teaching was not giving me enough to fund. So I went on the JET program.
I was about to ask if it was the JET program.
It was the illustrious JET program.
For those who don't know about the JET program, tell us about that.
So the JET program, when I went on JET 10 years ago, it was the 25th anniversary, and they sent the most jets that year, 25, to celebrate the 25 years. So it's always a smaller number. Now we've had a very good relationship with Japan, 60 years diplomatic ties this year, and we had a big soiree in Tokyo before I came. And because of that, they love our teachers. When we are on call, send Jamaican teachers, and we really do excel.
And we do
over there. So because of that, we're always in demand. So I signed up, application went through, Tokyo.
Nice.
But first, not Tokyo, I went to Shizuoka, if you know Shizuoka Prefecture. Green tea prefecture, everything green tea, matcha, you name it, is there. So that's so
one
different.
of the biggest shocking experiences, well, not shocking, but it was a stark contrast, was on public transportation, how no one uses their phones because they believe that your noise is disruptive to other people. So you respect other people in the space, and you can't go up on your phone in public transport.
They will do the typing and yes, but you're not hearing hello and having a full-on
and we are very outgoing.
Yes, the music. Turn up it in the Costa bus.
So completely different.
The lines were a shocker for me when I went also.
Joining the lines to get into the trains.
orderly. But it's good. It's a safe country. It's a beautiful country. And you know they have the 4 seasons, so that makes it even more wonderful.
Let me tell you the hard work and contribution of so many people who are as passionate about dance and music as I am. And thank goodness they're still around. Thank goodness they're still giving. And I'm talking about the singers, the musicians, the dancers, the creative technicians, the administrators, and all of these persons just say, hey, this is important. This is a rich cultural legacy. We have to continue the hard work that was started by Professor Rex Nedderford, Eddie Thomas, and the founders of the company. So it's been a fantastic journey, learning experience, a labor of love, I can tell you that. Just encouraging each other, recognizing that all of us are putting all our talents into the same pot and working towards really passing it on to the next generation. And I can tell you, you have another generation that's calling me uncle. I'm still getting used to the idea. Wow. Well, we believe in balance. So therefore, we have to stay traditional and we have to respect the traditional folk forms. And I can tell you, one of the things that we do is set up our training system to accomplish all that we set out to do as a company. We have to reflect the ideology of the company and also the landscape that we live in. We live in the Caribbean, we're Jamaican, and so the movement pattern has to reflect that. One of the things that we believe in is keeping the company class that Professor Nedford taught and developed for 48 years. So today you can come to the NDTC and see the same class that Professor taught when he was artistic director of the company. And we have infused that with other ideas, contemporary dance, modern dance, jazz, hip-hop, dancehall. So we try to bring those into the space in different ways, whether it's abstracted or distilled, so the dancers have an eclectic experience and also stay true to who they are as Jamaican Caribbean people.
Other female political firsts include Violet Nielsen, who served as Speaker of the House of Representatives between 1997 and 2003.
I got it like that.
Be the head and the boss and the leader. Be my guide, my shepherd and my keeper. Beginning and the end, you are the alpha omega.
Thanks for staying with us, guys. Time does fly when good things are happening, but you know what time it is? It's final thoughts. Before we go into final thoughts, so there's one thing I just wanted to kind of wrap up and say. So I am a student of history, love history. And I know that one thing that happened in South Africa during the time of apartheid and post-apartheid was this thing called a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And the thing I always loved, and when the topic of sin came up, I loved the concept was nations, the world faces issues of sin or issues of wrongs against each other. And I think one of the things that we don't try to do as human beings is to find ways to truly correct it. We're willing to just say, all right, we'll live with it. We're both accepting that something was wrong during that time, but we're going to move on to something else. But I think in this whole thing of personal responsibility, as you spoke about, the steps to forgiveness, one has to recognize that there must be some point of truth, meaning you must own up, accept this is my sin, this is the wrong, the exact thing I did wrong. But you must also set a path for how you're going to reconcile, to atone. So for some, it's to go to their priest, sit down and do a confession and say, I'm going to be a better person tomorrow. Whereas for others, it may be, I have to go to the person who I wronged and say, hey, I know you may not even know that this happened, but this is a wrong that was committed. And we should never see it simply as a individual thing only. As I said, it's a national issue, it's a regional issue, it's a global issue. And as a world, if we're more truthful and willing to reconcile the sins that we have against each other, I think we'd be a better world. But into our final thoughts, we talked about how much sin is too much sin. Rev, give you the first.
Well, any sin is too much sin. You know, any sin is too much sin, and it's very dangerous when we don't have that reality, because things can become a door, and when certain doors are created, we don't know what is behind that door. And for some person, they committed one sin, and now it has become an addiction in their life. So any sin at all is too much sin.
Yes.
Diana?
So I actually do believe, agree with you about any sin is too much sin, because I think that it's a slippery slope. So I think that once you've done a sin, you end up going deeper and deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. So it's best to avoid sin, but at the same time, we're humans that were born in sin, and sin is very familiar to us. So I think that what we do is we do try to rate it based on what we think is worse or not. But that has to do with a value system, which would be a longer topic, because, you know, some people don't value human lives either. So murder is really not worse than a lie. But what I have to say is just we can just try to avoid sin as best as possible. You know, just for our own betterment. My conscience drives me nuts when I've done something.
Yeah, I wish everybody were like you. I do.
So yeah.
So for my final thoughts, I'll put it this way. Life is deliberate. You've been given a deliberate life to live. You've been given an opportunity to be a better person each day. 2024 has already gone a quarter way through. So let the rest of the year be a deliberate action that you try to be better each day. We're not perfect, as Gianna said, but we can try to be perfect. We can strive for perfection.
Yeah.
So I thank you. That's a wrap for the roundtable today. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, guys. And as you go forward into the world, be good and be deliberate on purpose. Chasing perfection, do all the right things in life, right? Let's be our brother's keeper. Thank you, guys. See you later.
Yep.
Lord, I pray, I honor your name, deliver your mercy. Whenever I fall, you lift me up. Glory to me, oh God. Our Redeemer, saving grace. I know I'm not worthy to see your face. I try hard, but I make mistakes. You're still by my side every step that I take. Through every heartache, you get the praise. You are my guide, I'm a shield always. Every time me I gaze and I play hard days, you still show mercy and keep me safe. Lord, I pray, I honor your name, deliver your mercy. Whenever I fall, you lift me up. Glory to me, oh God. All powerful, omnipotent, shine down your glory, your magnificence. When you build a fence, it make all the difference. Step in on my life and take precedence. Be the captain, the pilot, the teacher. Be the head and the boss and the leader. Be my guide, my shepherd and my keeper. Beginning and the end, you are the alpha.